is Musical Talk, your podcast for musical theater. Here are your hosts, Nick Hudson and Andrew Edwards.
Hello, welcome to Musical Talk, a weekly podcast dedicated to musical theatre.
You got the name right this week.
Yes, I got the name right.
Last week you said theatre talk, didn't you?
Theatre talk.
You're such a classical person, you think it's theatre.
Absolutely. Lovely, darling.
Not musicals. Yes, welcome to the second episode of Musical Talk, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Yes.
We have had some listeners. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, over 100 listeners, isn't it?
Yes.
Over 100. Thank you very much.
Please do contact us if you want any questions or comments. musicaltalk@hotmail.co.uk.
Absolutely. Also, any interviews, if you want to particularly hear an interview from a certain person, especially if they're appearing in the West End, give us an email and we'll see if we can get them on the show.
We have contacts.
Oh yes. So I'd like to thank Joe for our fantastic new jingle.
He's a fellow
Across the
musical
pond.
writer and fan of musicals.
So there we are, and he's done us a voiceover. Thank you very much to you.
Get him involved in our show.
Yes, thank you for that, Joe. So this week we're going to be talking about Disney musicals.
Disney.
First, we want to talk to Andy about his auditioning.
Oh yes,
For,
I had Lord of the Rings this week. I had an audition for Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, as you probably know, is a musical now. It started off in Canada.
That's right. Yeah, it started.
To mixed reviews, I think we can say.
Yes, it's mixed reviews. People just said it was too long and it wasn't good on stage, things like this. I mean, you can make your own mind up about this. I mean, if you go onto the internet and type it into Google, Lord of the Rings, there's a website for Lord of the Rings on stage, and there's a video there, and it is a spectacle to look at.
But I mean, I think people maybe they're relying too much on the spectacle. If they were to do it in the black box environment, just a sort of hole in the wall theatre, would it still?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean,
just concentrating on
you can't
story
really,
and character as opposed to magic tricks and.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I don't want to condemn it because it's it is
we haven't seen it yet. So
exactly.
You
can't judge it, and if I'm not in the show, I'm looking forward to going to see it. So yeah, I mean it's like a 4-month rehearsal period they're doing. Whoever is successfully getting in the show, it's like there's 53 cast members, and there's a 4-month rehearsal process. Sorry,
the biggest musical that's ever been.
I mean, yeah, it's huge. I mean, you've got stilt walking and gymnastics and
sounds like
special
Cirque du Soleil for the West End.
It does, and I have to say, I'm really looking forward to it because I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, the films and the books. So I'm looking forward to it. But my audition this week was good fun.
Yes, tell us about that.
We went over to it was in near Shoreditch. Went over to I think it was Aldgate East, or tube station, somewhere near there, and
that's whereabouts in London is that?
It's East London,
right?
So
away from the West End.
Away from the West End, yeah. And we did the audition dance. We did like kind of World War I thing, like themed thing with like rifles in our hands and being shot and all sorts, which was really very contemporary dancing. And then we did a Hobbit dance.
A jig.
It literally it reminded me of Morris dancing, and we did this Hobbit dance. We had to pretend we had hankies in our hands. I mean, I'm 6'2", so for me to be doing a Hobbit dance, I was a little bit but it was really good fun. I have to say. I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, I'll have to go back and sing for them and see what they think.
We have, I think, done the impossible, and
very, very excited about this, folks.
Folks,
look at me.
For our second show, we have an interview with the one and only Stephen Schwartz.
Stephen Schwartz.
I was lucky enough to have spent a couple of hours with him last Friday. So thank you to, if you're here being redirected from Wicked West End.
Oh, yes, Wicked West End.
Thank you very much to Carol de Gier for advertising that site. I hope I pronounced your name properly.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
It really helps.
Yes, we need as much plugging as we can get.
Yes, so of course, please do tell your friends about all this show. We have been getting listeners, and it's been very nice.
That was mildly creepy.
Strange and mildly creepy.
So
you have some little news tidbits. Well, a big news tidbit.
A couple of things.
One news item is related to the show, but the other one isn't. But
yeah, so should we start the one that isn't?
It's,
of course, on Saturday night, you probably all watched it. I would imagine if you're listening to this show,
if you're in this country,
then you would have watched How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria? I know I was. Whenever I wasn't on stage on Saturday night, I was rushing up to my dressing room to watch this show.
On your little crappy television.
It's quite a big crappy television, actually. Well, in my dressing room, my 11, Theatre Royal Drury Lane. Ran upstairs, and Connie Fisher is Maria. She won the competition. And
she was a favourite to win.
She was favourite to win, and I think she was everyone's favourite. I mean, to be fair, when she sang a song from Oliver, she sang "As Long as He Needs Me." I know I was amazed.
I sadly didn't see that. I saw the very end of the voting show.
Oh yeah. I watched the singing. I wasn't really too fussed about the voting. I wanted to see the performances. But
my theory is, I mean, we've only seen them sing. We haven't seen them act.
Well, no, because musical theatre, it's acting, singing, and dancing in one thing. But to say, a singer, some people that just sing and don't act inside their songs. I mean, that's not musical theatre. And as soon as you bring a performance into a song, that is when it becomes musical theatre. So I think we have seen them act because we've seen them perform musical theatre songs.
We haven't seen them outside of songs.
Then
I mean, the thing with Sound of Music is, as the judging panel often said, this is a big book musical, and there's lots of dialogue in it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it would be nice if we saw acting from the female singers, but I guess that would draw.
She did go to Mount View Theatre School, which is big, hot on their acting and hot on.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
I think she's going to be fan. I mean, I really liked her, and when she sang "As Long as He Needs Me," I thought, wow, what a voice. Little tiny bit tense at the end, but then
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, with millions of people watching. So. She really nailed it. She really nailed it.
Oh, good luck
I'm
to
really
her.
happy for her. Yeah, good luck to her.
And of course, this is playing at the.
Maybe we could try and get an interview with her. Maybe
we'll try our best.
She's at the Palladium.
It's the world famous London Palladium.
London Palladium, yes.
And I think it said last week the best honour for any actor.
Yeah, definitely.
In musical theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Disney.
We're going to go to Disney. Yes.
A big force now in the West End.
Big force in the West End, and our other massive bit of news. About The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
It's going ahead. It is going to be preview. They're trying a
out of town
preview at the Denver Center for Performing Arts
in Colorado, and
it's going to be based on the 1989 movie. And wow, I mean it's my favourite Disney.
You're probably going to go out and buy a gun and shoot me when I say it.
Because you haven't seen it.
I still haven't seen it.
You still haven't seen it.
I'm waiting. Disney are very...
I've got it on video. I'll lend it to you.
No, the DVD comes out next month.
Oh, fantastic. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it is my favourite. It's my favourite one, without a doubt. I remember seeing it in the cinema, and recently, when it came back to the cinema maybe quite a few years ago now, I suppose, I actually took my nieces and nephews. I was like, I'll take them out for today. It's okay, I'll look after them.
You wanted to see
because I wanted to go and see The Little Mermaid, because it's just... Remember when I would have been about 8 or 9 when it first came out, and I went to the cinema, and it was just the best thing I'd ever seen, and just completely...
And of course, this was the first Disney musical there had been in a long, long time, because they had a sort of slump in the 70s. I mean, they had films like Pete's Dragon, which had a very nice song in it.
Yeah.
I'll Be Your Candle on the Water, which is lovely. And but they hadn't really had any serious musical theatre pieces.
Yeah.
And then Alan Menken and Howard Ashman had a hit with Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors, and that was a hell of a musical, wasn't it? I mean, everybody knows that's a musical. And it's recently been revived on Broadway.
Yeah. And hopefully coming
to coming here, yes. I heard a rumour that it was coming, and that Jerry Halliwell was going to be in it. But whether that goes ahead or not, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll keep you informed.
Yes.
So then Disney got in touch with Howard and said, would you like to do a musical for us? Actually, I think it was Walt Disney himself had planned to do a Little Mermaid film in the 50s, but that couldn't go ahead for whatever reason, we don't know. But they told, I think they presented Howard with these ideas, and he chose a Little Mermaid, and the rest is history, as they say. I mean, who can't hum the opening notes of Under the Sea?
And then the main theme tune from it as well.
World.
Where they walk up, I mean, wow. I remember when I went to stage school, we were kind of banned. All the girls were banned from singing that song because everybody sings, especially if you're a dancer, because it's a fairly easy song to get you through, to bluff your way through if you're not a singer. But when it's done properly, what a song!
Whole world of difference.
And then at the end, when all the ensemble come in and sing, that moment where the ship... Oh, you don't, because you've never seen it.
I know what you're talking about.
But there's just... It's the same, pretty much the same as Beauty and the Beast at the end, when they're all singing... they're all singing the... we'll get on to that in a minute, because I've done a Disney show. I've actually performed in a Disney show, and it was phenomenal. It really was phenomenal. But we're going to go on to that now, actually, aren't we? Because the next one was Beauty and the Beast.
But I mean, Ariel, man.
Ariel, she's fit. I mean, everybody knows she's hot. And also, can we just mention a little bit, one of the best baddie songs, Poor Unfortunate Souls. Wow, what a song that is. I mean, again, you haven't seen it, so you won't know what I'm talking about.
I know the song, but I don't know how it fits into the
she
story.
is... Ursula in the film is such a good baddie, and she has this brilliant song. I mean, it's not until you get to sort of the stage show of Beauty and the Beast where Gaston has me. That's the only thing, like, the only song I've seen a baddie sing in a Disney show that compared to it. Actually, no, I'm lying again, because Hunchback of Notre Dame is a wonderful song for the baddies in.
Hellfire.
Wow. And I sat there and just went, I want to play that part too. I've always wanted, that's one part I wanted to play, because when I did the Hunchback of Notre Dame in college, we did a workshop version of it. I played the love interest, is it no, I can't remember his name now. Phoebus, yeah, I played him, and he didn't have a song, so I just sort of...
He does in the stage show.
Yeah, I'm glad about that, because I just kind of walked in the occasional scene and went, I'm going to rescue these damsels in distress, and then I just walked out again.
I'm not a cliche character.
Yeah, I know. It was...
So they won the Oscar for Little Mermaid for Best Score and Best Song, I think, with Part of Your World.
What a song that is.
What a stunning song. And then came Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Beastie and the Beaut. Fantastic.
Beastie and the Beaut.
What? I mean, you know, when you can't, if you're an adult, if you're a child, if you're, you know, great-granddad, great-grandmother, whatever.
It's a good film for the family to go and see.
Yeah, everybody would enjoy this
sort
film.
of jokes there with the whole misogynistic thing. And
Yeah.
Gaston is a great character.
Great character, yeah.
And
played by the one of my very good friends, Michael Quinn, at the moment on tour.
Right.
He's been doing it for he was I think Gaston when I was in it as well, and he's awesome. Plays it very well at the moment on tour.
A reviewer in the New York Times saw the film Beauty and the Beast and said the best musical on Broadway is at your local movie theatre, which of course he was referring to Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
And so that was done by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Little do they know that Howard Ashman would not see the final version of this film because he passed away due to AIDS. And that really put a downer on Alan. If you know the Broadway musical, there's a song called Human Again.
It was written because he wanted to he wanted to feel human again. That's what it's written about.
Yeah.
He was writing. It's kind of a metaphor for what what he went through, and he wanted to feel human again. And he wanted to be human again.
So now, if you listen to that song, you'll be having a much
be
deeper.
Again.
And that, of course, led a couple of years later to the stage production of Beauty and the Beast.
Of course, yes.
Because Disney probably saw dollar signs in their head, as they're very good at doing, and thought, okay, well, we can put this on stage if people are regarding it as a true old-fashioned musical, and sort of, it's still playing on Broadway.
It's still playing on Broadway,
like
yes.
10 years now, or something ridiculous like that, and then...
and it's just a phenomenal
It's done
show.
tours all around the world, and all the major cities in the world played, I think, the biggest production here in London.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome at the Dominion, which is now where We Will Rock You is there now. But, let me just, I mean, I've done this show, I did it on tour last year, and let me tell you, you never get sick of the songs. You never get sick of doing it, because it's just a phenomenal show. If you come in on a Wednesday matinee, you want to do it. I mean, a lot of shows you come in on Wednesday and you go, oh my god, I've got to do 2 shows midweek, there'll be no audience in. But there's always an audience in. There's always a packed house. Everybody loves the music. Everybody in the theatre is enjoying themselves. Knows the music, yeah. And you come in, and it's just stunning. I mean, to listen to, I was very lucky to work with Katie Roddy Jones, who is now playing Nessa Rose in Wicked.
Going to try and get her on.
Hopefully, yeah. We're going to see if we can get her on the show. She played Belle when I did it, and a man named Nick Greenshields, who is like 6'6" tall, and has got a phenomenal voice, and is a lovely man to boot, which makes you sick because he's so nice and so talented.
One of those people.
Yeah, one of those people.
Like me. Like me.
So, yes, and of course Michael Quinn, who was playing Gaston. And I just wanted to mention those 3 because they were just, I mean, everybody in the cast.
They're the sort of principals that bind the whole company together.
Yeah, and they made, honestly, it was such a good show to do. When you get to the very end and you're singing...
It's just lovely. I mean, it's so romantic and lush, and the orchestra's very good in that show as well. It's a big orchestra for a Broadway pit.
Yeah.
I love that word, pit. The pit.
That's where they belong. Or the bar.
That's afterwards.
It's during and the interval, I think.
But and then, of course, they had the huge success with The Lion King.
The Lion King, yes.
Which the film was Disney's biggest animation ever. It was the most popular one.
the first time they'd ever murdered someone as well.
So, The Lion King, a drastic change of style from film to stage due to the wonderful visions of Judy Taymor,
Yeah.
who did the costumes and music and
those costumes, wow! I mean, I went to see it the other week for the second time, and I just enjoyed it. That opening.
I've seen it 2 times.
Yeah,
as well.
when they do the Circle of Life in the opening, and they all come out, and that elephant comes up the
Interesting thing about the Circle of Life is it's so hard to beat anything beyond that segment of the show.
But then they do when the birds come out and they fly the birds round after the second act. You go, oh my god, this is unbelievable.
And I think it's a nice musical because it's the first one to really have world music in a sort of popular, almost commercial musical.
And they even sing in they sing in Swahili and all different sorts of languages.
La Bohème, not confused with the opera, which is La Bohème.
La Bohème.
And of course, you have the wonderful songs of Elton John.
Yeah.
He wrote a couple of new ones for the show, the Morning Report.
Morning Report, that's a good one. I like the Morning Report. It's one of my favourite ones.
It's very Gilbert and Sullivan-esque.
Yes.
And what a great cast in the movie as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Rowan Atkinson as well is wonderful.
Okay.
James Earl Jones. Is that his name, James Earl Jones? Is that right? Yes, James Earl Jones. Darth Vader.
Yeah. And we lead on to the next 2 Disney films of the big lot. I think we can are Pocahontas and The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, and of course Tarzan as well was another one.
Also a stage show now.
Yeah, also a stage show now.
And
but The Hunchback of Notre Dame
also a stage show.
Yeah, it's got from all the Disney films, I think it's got the best score.
Yeah,
I really the music by Alan Menken, wasn't it, and the lyrics were by Stephen Schwartz, and that opening song that goes on for about 27.5 minutes.
7 minutes actually.
But when that guy, I don't know who sings it. I've always wanted. I'm going to find out actually who sings that opening song, who sings the jester part, because that guy can do like vocal acrobatics. Because he at the very start of the song he goes down quite low.
At the end.
And then at the end he's singing.
He's up there.
He's up
Literally,
there.
that is his last
and
note.
that is,
Can
in
you hit
full
that?
belt. Can I? No way. I mean, he's just got what a range that man has. And when he's that opening number, and then you realise you've not even got into the story yet. That's just setting the scene. And I mean, wow, what? And then of course, one of the greatest male songs from a Disney show.
Movie.
Movie. He sings "Safe Behind These Windows and These Parapets of Stone."
Tom Holt. Is it Tom Holt? Tom Holt.
I think so. Yeah.
Who is, of course, very famous for playing for playing Mozart in Amadeus. And his singing voice was a bit on the lines for some people. It was, some people said they didn't like it.
Very, very heavy vibrato.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember sitting at home when I had the video and I just rewound that. I watched the whole film. And then I rewound it and just played that song again, just because it was, with the animation and the music and the guy that sings,
the story.
I mean, it's just amazing, and it just kills you, just to. And then, of course, very famously, South Park take the mickey out of it in their movie by singing "Up There." Satan sings "Up There."
Out there.
Yeah,
but before Hunchback, there was Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, yes.
Which Stephen Schwartz is going to tell us about now from my interview. I'm joined here by Stephen Schwartz. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're doing a show about Disney, so we want to talk about that.
Okay.
How did they approach you for your first project, which was Pocahontas?
This was back in the 90s, and they had just begun their succession of animated musicals that had become so popular already. Little Mermaid had already come out, and Beauty and the Beast, and they were in the process of doing Aladdin. And of course, the person who basically started all of this or resuscitated the Disney animated musical franchise was Howard Ashman. And Howard had very regrettably recently died of complications from AIDS. And so the Disney folks were looking for somebody to sort of do what Howard had done, and to partner in a collaboration with the composer Alan Menken to do their next film. And they essentially were interviewing people who had, as Howard had, theatrical experience, Broadway musical experience, and I happened to be out in Los Angeles at the time, and I got invited to come and talk to them about this. And by this time I was fairly cynical about the film business and the fact that one went to these meetings and nothing ever came of them.
So I'll call you and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And so having learned this, I always insisted that meetings be accompanied by a meal so I could at least have a free meal out of it. So they took me to lunch at the lovely Disney commissary, which is actually quite lovely.
Free for them.
Yes, it's precisely, but it's very nice. And we had a very good meeting. It was with Tom Schumacher, who was the head of development for Disney Animation at that time and is now the head of Disney Theatricals, in charge of all the stage presentations for Disney, and a couple of other people in development. And the meeting went well, and I didn't really think very much of it, you know, in terms of future. Had my nice lunch, went away, and then about a month later, I was doing a benefit with Alan Menken, and he said to me, we were standing around backstage, and he said, I heard that your meeting with Disney went very well. Would you consider just doing lyrics at any point, rather than music and lyrics? And I was very interested in doing Disney animation, and I liked Alan, and I liked his work, so I said sure, and about a week later, suddenly I was doing Pocahontas. It just came up very quickly then.
So, there we have Stephen talking about how Disney came to him and, you know, got him rolling with them, as they say. And
Fantastic.
such a lucky guy to be brought into, you know, a huge business, as it were, back then, to be making these classic films. And his films are now classics.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I think Colours of the Wind...
Beautiful. What a song.
It is a stunning song. It's very... The lyrics are very clever. There's a lyric in it that goes, "But still I cannot see if the savage one is me. How can there be so much that you don't know, you don't know?" Now that could be taken many different ways.
Absolutely.
How can there be so much that you don't know? Question mark. You don't know. Answer. How can there be so much that you don't know, you don't know?
Yeah.
How can there be so much that you don't know, you don't know? She could just be repeating the line. But what I like about Stephen's lyrics in A Hunchback of Notre Dame and Pocahontas, they're so clever.
Yeah, well, in anything he writes, they're very clever lyrics. One of my favourite songs,
Corner of
the Sky from Pippin, and the lyrics to that are just beautiful. And it's all about, you know, sort of that someone who wants to become something, even though he's like heir to a throne or something, and I think he's a prince or something like that. I've never actually seen the show, so I don't know. But he wants more from life. He wants to be almost at one with nature, and he wants to go out and do things. And
so like the "I Want" song from, you know, Part of Your World, or
Reprise
of Belle or whatever.
You know, it's a phenomenal song, and he's just saying he wants to be where his spirit can run free.
Do you know Miramax have bought the rights to Pippin, so they're making a movie of it now?
Are they? Fantastic. So I'm really excited about seeing it. I mean, I watched the DVD of Rent this week, which was fantastic. Again, because
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the music. I love the storylines. It's the story of La Boheme, but in modern day New York. It's stunning.
The village in New York.
Yeah, and of course Idina Menzel was in it, and she's one of my favourite people. Anyway,
She's very popular, isn't she?
She's rather popular.
And of course, you know, we're talking about lyrics, and another famous Disney song in musical is Hercules.
Oh, yes.
Which has a marvellous song in it. Which has two versions. One version is the Michael Bolton version of Go the Distance, and the other one is the film version.
Film version, yeah.
And we're talking about the lyrics in that, and they have very good vowel.
Well, I was just saying that we've actually, funny enough, we were just having a little play around with the keyboard, and I was singing a little bit from that, and I said the vowels and the words to sing, like strong, and it's this O sound.
Assonance, it's called.
Strong, and it's a really, really nice vowel to sing on, and a really
big
it's
sound.
Really open. And then belong, when he goes, "I'm right where I belong," and it's not too high. It's right in a man's mid voice, and you can really balance it out and make it sound, you know, really
big.
Big.
The lyrics were done by David Zippel, who is a stunning lyricist. He did a musical called City of Angels with music by Cy Coleman.
Fantastic.
Has a wonderful song on it called You're Nothing Without
You're
Me.
nothing without me.
Which has, I think, some of the best lyrics I've ever... And also it's one of the best ideas for a song, to have this character talking to his character that he's made up. And you have the wonderful line that works well of him saying to the other and the other saying to him, "You're nothing without me." So kudos to David Zippel for those wonderful lyrics. So Stephen Schwartz then went on to do The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which we've mentioned.
Love it, yeah.
And I think it was a bold choice by Disney to do that, because it's a
Of course.
very...
It's a very dark book. It's not. The Hunchback of Notre Dame in the book isn't a very nice character.
No, but none of the characters are very nice, are they?
No.
It's of course written by Victor Hugo, who did Les Miserables as well. Yeah. And Stephen's now going to tell us about The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame was the second one. Disney came to Alan and myself when it was clear that the collaboration on Pocahontas was going well, and asked us if we would do another one for them. And they gave us basically two choices, one of which was some story involving whales, and the other choice was The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And we chose Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I love The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's of the three animated features that I've done, that's my favorite. And I feel it's Alan's best score. All the Latin and everything. I just think the music is extraordinary that Alan wrote for it. Topsy Turvy, which has sort of
That's
echoes.
on Broadway.
Well, it's actually Nino Rota. It has echoes of his scores for the Fellini films and stuff.
Did you have any input at all to the music?
Well, the way Alan and I work is we always talk about the style of a number, and so in some instances, we would talk about the whole concept for the number. For instance, with Topsy Turvy, I suggested the Nino Rota stuff and his score for 8.5 and things like that we could be influenced a little bit by that sort of European circus quality. The Hellfire, which is obviously inspired by the end of the first act of Tosca. That was a very deliberate discussion that Alan and I had about, because that's my favorite thing from opera, is the end of the first act of Tosca, and the whole idea of having a sort of liturgical thing going on in the background while the villain is singing over it. So, I didn't have any influence in terms of the specific notes written or any specific harmonies, except to the extent that sometimes when we're working, because often when we work out a song, we'll be in the room together, and sometimes I may say, could it go up there, or I could use some whole notes, or could this move a little more quickly, but it's as vague as that.
So there's Stephen talking about the sort of creative process he goes into with Alan, and it sounds really interesting. I think I didn't know that he would comment slightly on the music. I thought it was more of a sort of rigored and more structural, like you are only allowed to do words, you're only allowed to do music, but obviously it's not. Sorry, we're going to sort of track back to about 1993 now, because one, I don't know when it came out, but one Disney film we haven't mentioned is Aladdin.
Aladdin. The sad thing was the song that was cut, funnily enough. My favourite song in Aladdin isn't in Aladdin, which is really strange. I know you
well, do you know why they cut it?
because they cut the mother part.
Because they cut... Basically, Howard and Alan did a whole new, no pun intended, version of Aladdin before it came on to the version we all know and we all now know. They had... Aladdin had, I think, 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And he had a mother who was in it, and they had 2 genies, and they had... songs such as Call Me a Princess, and they have a song, a sort of barbershop quartet that all the brothers sung, and I think Disney Studios thought it was a bit too contemporary. Of course, they liked the whole sort of Duke Ellington genie stuff, which was part of the original idea in the first place. The whole Friend Like Me. And so they went back to the drawing board, and sadly Howard didn't make it.
Yeah, it's a shame. Didn't make it through.
So they brought on Tim Rice, who then went on to do Beauty and the Beast with Alan. To do
some of the stage stuff, some of the new music for the stage production.
Yeah, and who also did The Lion King.
Yes.
And they came up with, Tim Rice did lyrics for A Whole New World, and One Jump Ahead, which is a very good song.
What a great, it's a
good
great
chase song.
And
it's also on stage now.
yes, I heard. I'm not sure where
It's at the last week we talked about Disney, and I said there were 3 Disney theme parks. Sort of, you have the Disney World Complex in Florida, which has 4 parks. Then you have the Disney Park in California. But there's also another Disney Park in California called Disney's California Adventure.
Yes.
Which isn't hugely popular, but one thing that is hugely popular is the Aladdin stage show. It's a 45-minute production, full Broadway style. Disney built this theatre, this 2,500-seat theatre.
Wow.
To full Broadway standards. You know, it has different levels of seating, and it's all enclosed, and they have house lights that go down and everything. And Alan came in and wrote a new song for the show. I've seen a video of it, and it was done in a really big style. You know, they have a chorus line of genies and
fantastic.
a staircase that comes on and off, and magic tricks. The carpet flies over the entire audience during A Whole New World.
Amazing.
And it's nice, I think, that the Disney theme parks are doing this. You know, they're saying, come to our park and get a free Broadway show for 50 minutes on your ticket.
No, it's the same thing that they've got the Lion King down in Disneyland Resort Paris. They have a Lion King stage show, which is a massive theatre, a complete, fully functioning theatre, and it's a 45-minute production of the Lion King.
Yeah. The new Disney movie with Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz is something called Enchanted.
Enchanted, yes.
Starring our dear Idina Menzel. We spoke to Stephen about that, and here's what he had to say.
It's a delightful screenplay. Idina playing not the girl, actually. In fact, one of the challenges is because Idina is not playing the central role of the animated girl who comes into the real world. That's played by just a great actress named Amy Adams, who was nominated for an Academy Award last year for a little movie called Junebug, and Amy is phenomenal. But Idina plays the love interest of a guy that
You have Patrick
Amy
Dempsey
meets.
in it as well?
Well, Idina plays Patrick Dempsey's fiancée, yeah. And so it's Amy and Patrick Dempsey, Idina, this terrific guy named James Marsden, plays the animated prince, and then Susan Sarandon plays the wicked stepmother.
And can you tell us anything about the songs that you and Alan have written?
Well, of course, part of the fun is to send up some of our own work and some of the other sort of Disney musicals.
The typical I Want song.
Yeah, we don't actually. Well, we do have a little bit of a send-up of an I Want song. I mean, it begins in animation, and I think the first 8 or so minutes of the movie are animated, and there is a very kind of classic Disney Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. You know, the Disney from that era, the really classic princesses. Then once we get into the real world, we get a little bit more modern. So there is a send up of one of Alan's numbers, and we do an Under the Sea send up. So we send up him a little bit there, and there's another number that sort of sends up another classic Disney song. You know.
That sounds really exciting.
Yes,
I mean,
Enchanted. Yeah,
it sounds like such a wonderful idea to have a sort of twist on the fairy tale of, you know, starting off as traditional Disney animation, which we all know and love.
Yeah, of course.
And then casting this girl out into modern Manhattan, I think it is. And of course, you know, I think because we haven't grown tired of the fairy tale, but with things like Shrek, it's all now what can we do with, and Wicked, you know.
Wicked, yeah, of course.
What can we do with fairy tales to twist them around? Because everyone knows, you know, Snow White and Cinderella and things. And it reminds me a bit of the musical I'm working on called Faraway Academy. My idea is this university where all these fairy tale characters went before they... So like Wicked, it's the backstory of all these fairy tales. And who knows, maybe one week we'll have you singing one of the songs.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know, we could get a few different people in to do it. I mean...
That'd be nice.
Yes.
So, I think, of course, with the whole Disney renaissance, or renaissance, depending what country you're from, goes down probably to Alan Menken. I think we can all... Because, I mean, of course, Howard Ashman was great in the fact that he was there and got it all started. But Alan has really continued it.
Yeah.
going on.
And he's continued writing and going back to musicals he's already written, and then adding things to the stage show, and adding pieces of music.
And also, of course, Disney's other big business is theme parks.
Yes.
And they got Alan in that as well. He's writing music for their theme park in Tokyo. He's doing a score for a ride, which is something he's never done before. So
that sounds exciting.
A sort of Sinbad ride.
But I'm not going to go to Tokyo just to do that.
I may do. I mean,
if I work out there, I'll do it.
Their park in Tokyo does that. Look, it's always voted as the most gorgeous park.
Yeah.
It's called Disney Sea. And
I was offered a job on out there actually doing something to do with Disney, but I didn't do it.
No, that's a shame.
But I will go out there to work at some point if I can. I mean, I've always wanted to go to the Far East and work, because everyone always goes over there and talks about how beautiful it is and how amazing it is to work out there. Germany has a very flourishing theatre, interesting musical theatre now, and they've you can go out to Germany and work.
Hunchback of Notre Dame played in Germany.
Yeah, they've got a very and Paris is again a good place to work. It's not like the West End is the only place you can do musicals these days, which is great because Disney theme parks are obviously doing the same thing. They're trying to keep actors employed and keep people working in these fantastic shows. So it's a good thing. This all the theme parks and all the musicals that they've been doing.
So we're going to have now Stephen, the final part of our Stephen Schwartz interview.
This is exciting. This is the bit I'm looking forward to, because I've not heard it yet.
He's going to. Well, basically, we just talk about, as we said, Alan Menken is really the driving force behind Disney as of late, the last 20 years it's been now.
Yeah, well, they did Little Mermaid in 1989, so nearly 20 years, yeah.
Very impressive. So Stephen is now going to sing his praises to the man that is Mr. Alan Menken.
Alan is never limited in what in his choices. He never thinks, I can't do this because it's Disney animation. I think if one looks at the work he's done for them over the course of all the animated features, some of the obvious successful ones and some of the less successful ones, it's enormously wide-ranging. I'm always so happy in auditions when a boy comes in and sings Go the Distance, except the only thing is that then I'm singing it for the next 5 days. I loved that song. And so, in Hercules also he makes use of his sort of the gospel stuff that he's so good at.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors and some of the other theater stuff he did. But then in a not successful animated feature called Home on the Range that he did recently, he sort of does country western stuff. Alan is so facile at doing styles that he can make it seem that you can think at first that it's glib because he's so good at it and he does it so quickly. And it's only when you really look at it that you just understand that he's enormously gifted.
So there you have sort of our third presenter for the show, Mr. Stephen Schwartz.
Mr. Stephen Schwartz, thank you very much to him for doing that. Thank you very much to you, Nick, for sorting that out.
Well, it took lots of patience and perseverance. The 3 Ps, I call it: perseverance, patience, and politeness.
Very
good. Is the way to get on in the world. Next week, we're going to be talking about Spamalot.
Yes, fantastic. Well, they went into their theatre today to start teching the show, and I was talking to the MD at the weekend on Saturday night, Mr. Mike England, who was he taught me the music to the producers, and he left the producers to go and start working on Spamalot. So maybe we can try and get a little interview with him if I can catch up with him at some point. He's going to be very busy this week.
So, of course, any questions or comments, the email address is musicaltalk@hotmail.co.uk.
Please email us, yes.
Please.
Ask us what you want to hear about, suggestions what we can talk about, suggestions on who we can interview, suggestions on anything, really, please.
We know you're listening. So,
that was strange and mildly creepy.
Thank you very much. The story behind that is I've written there's another wonderful podcast which I listen to called coasterradio.com. Hi to the guys there. They have a sort of fictional character called Coaster Boy,
who does the facts and figures for the
who's a sort of theme park nerd, rather like me. And I wrote they once suggested a long time ago, wouldn't it be funny if someone wrote a musical in the style of Phantom of the Opera and about Coaster Boy. So I, being the complete nerd I am, decided to do that.
You went ahead and did it.
In a couple of days, and that went down very well. And one of the presenters who was talking about it said, "It's strange and mildly creepy," about 15 times.
So now that's why I tend to say that.
That's the in-joke to that.
Strange and mildly creepy.
So do tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen. We're not sure when we're going to be releasing this show. It's all a bit sort of sporadic at the moment.
Yes, because my schedule and your schedule are quite hectic.
So we're going to sort of try and discuss that, but we will...
I was supposed to do it on Friday, but of course I had
auditions
and all sorts of things.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
But we will try and get a specific date sorted out soon, and until then, we will see you then. Thank you very much.
Take it easy, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to
Musical Talk.
Yeah, do you think we leave without having Stephen Schwartz talk about Wicked? Here you are.
Well, we're in previews right now in London, and so needless to say, as always in previews, we're working. I mean, we put not a new scene, but a revised scene in yesterday, which seemed to go quite well. This afternoon, we're doing a revision of a certain segment of the show. So we're in process, and also the actors are in process of getting comfortable with their roles and discovering where laughs are and where moments are and the rhythm and all that stuff that actors learn as they perform something over and over again. So it's in process, but we're getting a warm response from the audience, and the thing I'm really surprised about is the extent to which all the references to the Wizard of Oz movie are clearly being understood and appreciated by the British audience, which was something that we did not anticipate.
Because you're worried that us Brits don't really know much about the Wizard of Oz.
Well, the movie The Wizard of Oz in America is so famous that pretty much everybody in America knows every line of it by heart. You really cannot. This is not an exaggeration. It sounds like hyperbole, but I assure you it's not. You really cannot watch a single evening of American television or read a magazine or a newspaper in America without stumbling across some reference to some line from The Wizard of Oz, whether someone's saying, we're not in Kansas anymore, or I'll get you, my pretty, or there's no place like home. It is probably the most famous movie ever made in terms of an American audience. It's so ingrained and endemic in our culture that we're able to make reference to the movie extremely obliquely in the show. We did not have rights to do the movie, which is another reason we have to be so oblique. I wanted Universal to make a deal with Warner Brothers, who have the rights to the film, and they were afraid to do it. They were afraid that Warner's would sue them or try and block the show, and it's all nonsense, but that's how lawyers are.
But you also have one in the Universal Studios in Japan.
That's so funny.
Where they don't know anything about the Wizard of Oz at all.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're doing there. The fact is that initially we had some discussions with Japanese producers who were interested in bringing the show over there, but they were concerned about the complete cultural ignorance of the Wizard of Oz in Japan and in Asia in general. And so Universal had the notion that they would do in their theme park a sort of half-an-hour version of the show, somewhat similar to what Disney does with some of their animated features in their theme parks.
Your animated features.
Yeah, such as Pocahontas and Hunchback of Notre Dame both had shows that were in the theme park with excerpts from the music, and just to sort of give people the idea that, yeah. And so we've done the same thing at the Universal theme park in Osaka, and it seems to be going very well there.
It's just funny hearing it in Japanese.
It's hilarious to see there are three casts because they do so many performances, but the lead girl, the main girl who does Glinda, who's fantastic. But to see this little Japanese girl with her blonde wig, singing Poppy Roar, is just
in Japanese.
In Japanese. Well, some of it's in Japanese and some of it's in English. They do this weird thing, kind of going back and forth between English and Japanese, often within the same song. It's very strange. I mean, and yet they say this is what they do all the time. It seems to me quite difficult to be switching your head on and off between one language and another, particularly in something that's meant for a very young audience, as theme park shows tend to be, but that's what they say they do in Japan.
Thanks for listening to Musical Talk. We'll see you next time.